All right, let's get involved, guys. Betty says, hi, my internet is slow. I also don't have a camera. All right, I got you, Betty. I won't beat you up too much on that. But if you do have a camera, come in, join us. Let me see those beautiful faces and smiles. I want to make sure that I'm actually impacting you and that you don't have me in your pocket somewhere not listening. Um, Also, it really sucks to just coach to a bunch of like boxes of pictures, right? So I would love to feel like we're connected in this and that we're doing this together, that you're actually getting something out of it and we're in it to win it. Okay. So that being said, I'm going to tell you guys a little story. So last week I had I went to a resort last week, Central America, Costa Rica specifically, and um, and it was like a spiritual resort, if you will. And a lot of cool stuff happened during this resort. It was absolutely insane. An incredible experience for me. But more than anything, man, it was a learning experience. And one of the things that we had talked about, because I consistently talk about goal setting, but I also talk about the plan to get to your goals, right? And I coach that a lot. I'm very specific on, this needs to be, in October, you need to be looking at next year. Then January 1, you need to kind of look at what you're going to do that quarter. Then March 31st, you got to look at the past quarter so that you can see where you are, what the mark is, what needs to shift, what needs to adjust so that you could do that for Q2. And then you do the same for Q3 and the Q4. And now you're planning for 2026, right? And you've seen all the quotes, all the information, right? Like, a plan without action is nothing. It's nothing. It's just a plan. It's like a dream without execution is nothing. But more so than anything, is consistent execution without a plan is just crazy. Like I don't even know the word for it, right? But believe it or not, that's where most of us live, right? There are a bunch of us, there's a percentage of us that we come up with this great plan and we have this like outlined situation and we walk in and we go, whatever. I'm gonna go back to what I was doing last year. And then you get the same results from last year and you go, why can't I get better in my business? And then there's another group that has no plan. There was no business planning involved. There was no thought of goal or direction or anything like that. It was just, I'm going to go do. And I'm going to accidentally fall on deals, and those deals are going to close, and I'm going to accidentally make some money, which is chaos, right? Like literal chaos, because you're just running rampant in every different direction with zero plan and zero consistency. You're just going at a million miles an hour, which at the end of the day, 100% not healthy for you. There's only so many years of that you can do before your body goes, all right, dude, what are we doing here? Right. And then there's a select few people who create a plan and they follow that plan. And then they create another plan and they follow that plan. They pay attention to the plan and they understand it and they adjust it as necessary. And those folks somehow manage to find consistency and success because they actually have a plan and then they went and did the plan. It was like turning on a GPS and actually following the directions, right? And many of us can do that. And I know for a fact that there's a few of you that the GPS says turn this way to save 5 minutes, and you're like, nah, I know a better route, right? And by the way, my wife does that, not to put her out there, but she's like, I use Waze, and she goes, I hate Waze. Waze is always trying to take me down some side road. And I go, I know, because it has data from thousands and thousands of cars that are using it on what streets are slow, what's blocked, what's under construction, and where traffic is. So it's helping you avoid it. So yeah, you got to turn about 20 more times, but you don't sit in traffic and you save some time on the road, right? And so you could follow the directions or you could think you know better than the system. And that's where a lot of people fall into. they think they know better than the system. You'll come here, you'll hear what we're saying, it'll make abundant sense to you, and then, well, whatever. So I'm curious to see if we can get some honesty in the room using the chat box. Which category are you in? Plan, don't execute, execute without a plan, or plan then execute? Which one are you? I'm gonna wait to see what comes up in the chat box. Plan and execute, or plan without execution, or execute a bunch of stuff with zero plan. Robert said plan and execute half-assed. Okay. I love the honesty. Thank you. Thank you. Plan and execute, execute, then plan. Okay. So you're being reactive, Glenn. You're kind of like, I'm going to go do this. Oh, wait a minute. That may work or may not have worked. Let me plan something up based on that. That's what you're saying. Need of consistency. All right. Plan and execute. Plan and execute. And if that plan doesn't work, plan B through Z. Execute, no plan. Okay. Reactive, not proactive. Okay. All right. So this is what I want to do. I'm going to make this so easy for you guys to become the type of business people, the type of folks that will plan and execute on a consistent basis. And so this is what I want to do. First thing I want to do is talk to you about the difference between goals and intentions. And today I want to focus on intentions. And last week I'm sitting in this, it says, Glenn says, I feel like I take too much time planning and I get stuck in analysis paralysis. That's awesome. I appreciate that. And I've got a fix for that too. Not today's class, but Glenn, definitely stay tuned. And if you want, go to my YouTubes and kind of look back at the business planning sessions that I hosted. I put them all on YouTube, and I hosted like a 3-part business planning session. And that'll help you break free of the curse of analysis paralysis, because that happens. I get it. I know, right? You write down something you're interested in doing, and then you just don't know how to break it down. And then when you begin to break it down, it doesn't sound right, and you start reacting and redoing it. And then eventually you go, okay, this sucks. I'm just gonna go do what I do, right? So there's a way to execute by having I know it's gonna sound funny, but having a plan on how to create the plan, right? So definitely, we got a plan with no execute, right? So it's crazy. Like you can see the diversity in the people and where they stand and how they execute. So today, I'm going to give you, listen, I'm going to give you the no hiccup, the failure proof plan of attack. Okay. Now I'm going to do this with you guys because last week I'm on this retreat, and this retreat had a lot of coaches, and there were a lot of classes, a lot of training. It was very intense. And somebody broke it down like this, and I was like, oh my God, I have to share this with the world, right? And what they said was, intentions, your personal intentions, are more important than your actual goal. So me being a coach, I sit back and I go, what does this guy, what does he mean? What does this mean? Focusing on intentions and forgetting the goal, because I got goals, baby. I got goals. And then the next thing he says is, because goals are limiting. And I said, hold on, I've never seen it that way. I've heard somebody say, create goals and focus on a plan to achieve that goal. Then I coach consistently, set a goal, and then amp it up by 10, 20%. So that you're chasing something further than your actual goal. But I never heard anybody say goals are so limiting, right? And so I want to explore this with you because first we have to clarify goals and intentions, okay? So let's go into defining goals clearly. Goals are specific, measurable results that you aim to achieve, right? I want to make $100,000 this year. That's a very specific goal I want to achieve. I want to lose 10 pounds. Not I want to lose weight, but you give yourself a specificity. There's a specific goal there. And we teach that. We coach that because we say if you don't have a goal, like, yeah, if I say I want to lose weight and I lose 1 pound, I achieved. But if I say I want to lose 10 pounds and I lose 1 pound, I know I still got 9 to go. And I want to clarify this by saying it's not that goals are not important. 100%, you still got to have goals. But I want you to understand the difference between a goal and an intention. And I want you to understand how you could surpass every goal you put in place. Now, let's define intentions very clearly. Intentions are broader purpose or mindsets, such as creating financial security or maintaining lifelong health. These are intentions that shape your daily behaviors and decisions. See, here we go. My goal this year is to make $100,000, or I am creating financial security. My goal is to lose 10 pounds, or I want to maintain a lifelong health situation. It's a big difference there. One of them is, this is my goal. That's what I want to achieve. And one of them is, this is my intention. Because by losing 10 pounds, what am I really trying to achieve? Trying to get healthier. So my intention is that I will maintain a lifelong health balance. And if I have that intention on a daily basis, then my daily decisions will fall in line with what my full life intention is. So just creating financial security. Rather than saying, yes, you can have your $100,000 marker or 2 or 3 or a million or whatever it is. You can have that marker, okay? But your daily intention should be create financial security. I am on a daily basis creating financial security. That's an intention. So now when I do that every day, my intention forms my decisions for the day. And if something comes up that doesn't fall in line with financial security, if something comes up that takes me away from financial security, my decision is significantly easier to make. If something comes to me that looks like it can help me achieve financial security, like a great deal, or purchasing some kind of program that's going to help my business grow, or whatever the case is that I know I can execute on for a fact, and I can get a return on my money with it. Huge opportunity for it. Huge opportunity for you, right? So let me demonstrate just the limitations of goals with you. Financial goals. If your goal is to earn $100,000 this year, you might achieve exactly that. But you might also miss the opportunity to earn more or diversify your income. If you have a fitness goal, let's use a fitness goal, right? If you set a goal to run a marathon, you might stop exercising right after the event rather than continue your overall health journey. It just might be done. I can't tell you, look, I spent 9 years in the United States Marine Corps. I can't tell you how many veterans I know that are pot belly out to here. Why? They spent years in the best shape of their lives. They spent years, I mean, going on 30-mile marches with packs that weigh 80 pounds and weapons and rifles and helmets that feel like they weigh 100 pounds in full body, just rock hard. And then they get out the military and they do everything the opposite of what they spent the time in because no one's telling them what to do anymore. Their intention is lost. They no longer think about wanting to stay in shape. Their intention, their new intention is, now I don't have to run and work out because nobody's forcing me to. So now I look like this, big beards, because they don't have to shave anymore either. Right? I won't lie to you. That's why I have a beard. I spent 10 years in a service that told me I couldn't have any facial hair. Clean, like stone. I love my beard. Okay? Social media goals, right? Focusing on gaining 1,000 followers or 10,000 followers. It can lead you to overlook that building genuine relationships and meaningful engagement is the key with your audience. I know people that have so many followers, tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands. I know a couple people with a couple million followers on social media. And I asked them, how much money and how much business are you gaining from your social media following? And you would be surprised at the answers I get. So you look at somebody on social media with 100,000 followers and you assume that this person is just selling, man. They're doing amazing things. They're not, because some of these folks hyper focused on how many followers can I get. And so they did things that entertained people to follow them, but they didn't do things to get people to know, like, and trust them, to want to transfer money with them. So equally, I know people that have 200 or 300 followers on Instagram, but they're 200 or 300 people that they actually know, like, and want to work with. And those people actually know, like, and want to work with them. And they have greater engagement and conversation and commentary with each other. And those people dominate on making money using their social media. Engagement participants, right? So let me ask you guys a question, something that you can comment in the chat box, right? Have you ever achieved a goal but felt limited after achieving that goal? Have you ever achieved a goal and felt limited after you achieved that goal? And while you guys post this, there's a story on Aaron Rodgers on Netflix. I'm looking for answers, guys. Have you ever achieved the goal but felt limited after you achieved that goal? And I'm going to give you that the example with Aaron Rodgers. You know, Aaron Rodgers spent his whole life wanting to play in the NFL, and then when he got to the NFL, he spent his whole time in the NFL dying to win a Super Bowl. And he said that after the Super Bowl, immediately after winning the Super Bowl, the greatest day of their lives, they got on the bus. It was like 1:30 in the morning, and it was over. And then there was like, now what? Right? Like, in his brain, he achieved this big, huge goal. And then it was like, holy crap, what's next? Right? So you guys, has that ever happened to you? Comment yes or no in the chat box. Has it ever happened to you where you achieve a goal and then it's kind of like, all right, I'm limited. All right, we got a no, we got a yep. Awesome. 2 participants, 3 participants, 4 oh yes. I usually set more goals. Good answer. All the time, Betty G. Yes, John. Awesome. Appreciate you guys. Not one I can think of. Cool, Felipe. Glenn, yes, we get complacent after. True. True. Now you're like, okay, well, I set this big goal. So, like, I'm going to keep running at this speed. Right? Happens to a lot of people. Okay. Now let's talk about the advantage of intention. All right. Flexibility. First advantage. Okay. So there's 3 major advantages to intention: flexibility, alignment, and sustainability. All right. We're going to talk about flexibilities. See, intentions allow you to adapt and pivot as you encounter obstacles or hiccups, keeping you motivated even when the specific goals change. See, that's the cool part about this. If you're focusing on the intention, the goal can change, the goalpost, right? It can move back and forth as long as your intention stays the same and you get to be flexible with it. If you encounter an obstacle that doesn't allow you to move this way, right, you get to make some shifts in your intention and your goal setting because you're focusing on the step in front of you. I want you to think of intentions as stairs. And at the top of the stairs is your goal. It's the achievement, it's the trophy at the top of the stairs. And every step you take is following your intention to get closer and closer to that trophy, to get closer and closer to that goal. Alignment. Intentions keep your actions closely aligned with your core values, resulting in more satisfaction and lasting success. If I have an intention on a daily basis that keeps me in line with my core values, then when I achieve my results, I fall more in line with what I truly care about. And sustainability, see, intentions support continual growth rather than short-term achievement, helping you maintain momentum. See, your intentions don't have to be renewed every year. Your intentions could stay the same forever. I'll share one of my intentions with you guys. One of my intentions on a daily basis is to find forgiveness. Because I don't know about you guys, carrying the weight of not forgiving people is heavy. And if you carry that weight, you can't fly at anything that you do. And people are always going to do something that pisses you off. From the guy who cuts you off on the highway, to your cousin who talks shit about you, to your brother who didn't invite you to something. So a daily intention for me is forgiveness. Learn to forgive. That's what I want to do. I want to have an open heart. Right? And that intention is not something I need to renew every year like my goals. That intention keeps me lying, and it falls in line with my core values. And it's something that helps me keep and maintain momentum. There's no slowdown in this intention at the end of the year, and there's no ramp up at the beginning of the year because it's a new year and I need to do new stuff. None of that. There's no short-term achievement there. It's continuous. So it helps me have continual growth. Another one of my intentions is to teach my kids that family is first. And if that's one of my intentions, then I need to prove to them that family's first. And how I treat my parents is how I expect them to treat me. And that's just personal stuff that I'm sharing with you guys. If you hear my business intentions, they're even more personal. Because yes, business is about going to make some money. I get it, man. People open businesses to make money. But you know what? The most effective and most successful businesses in the world, from Apple to Amazon, have figured out ways to care about people and adjust people's lives to make it easier and better for them. Now you can go on Amazon and get anything you want in 2 days. Or you can pick up your iPhone and compute with the entire world from there. Tell me these things have not made your life easier and simpler. A company that cares about their people matters. One of our goals is that at our coaching firm is that we want to change and impact the lives of over 1 million people in a positive way. How do we do that? Through these webinars, through events that we host, through things that we do. And in some of those, but the goal is still, how do I change and impact the lives in a positive way of over 1 million people in my lifetime? How do I do that? That's a business intention. So we stay focused. I'm on the path, even though it's a goal. My intention is I will change lives today. I will make somebody's life better today. And I'm hoping when I do stuff like this, there's whopping like 20 something of you on here, right? I wish it was 5 million people, right? There's 20 something of you guys on here. And I hope that all 21 walk away and go, I need to start thinking about some intentions. And then maybe, just maybe, you get some life change. And I helped with that. That's my goal. And you may never tell me about it. And that's okay. Because that's your mission to be on. But I know that if I keep doing things like this, it will work. Right? Those are some of my intentions. So you can play with that. Really think, like, meditate on this if you have to. Sit down, like, I don't know how you guys meditate, people think meditation is like sitting like a Buddha, right, with your hands. That doesn't always mean meditate. I meditate with a cigar in my hand, sitting in the backyard, a big bottle of water, right? Like that's me. That's my alone time, my alone space. That's where I really get to think, really get to focus on what I'm doing. That's my happy space, right? Unless the mosquitoes are kicking my ass, and that's a different thing. All right. So let's get into real life examples of powerful intentions, right? Financial intentions. Instead of targeting a specific number, set an intention to create financial abundance. This can open wide avenues, super wide avenues, such as multiple income streams and investments. Things will come. I hate to sound like some conspiracy theory, The Secret, like all that stuff, but trust me when I tell you, man. I met a lady last week that told me if I wake up in the morning and I ask for something, I get it by 3 p.m. I was like, what? She goes, yeah, because my intention has always been so clear that I get what I want within reason. And she's been practicing for that for so many years that if she wakes up in the morning and goes, today I'm going to ABC, she says by 2, 3 o'clock that day, ABC exists. Because she called to the world for it. So if you say consistent, your intention is that you're going to create financial abundance. Money will come your way. Opportunities will show up. And when these opportunities show up, you will have the intention in your head and you'll be able to make a decision on whether or not the opportunity that you're looking at in front of you is designed to create financial abundance or not. Health intentions, choosing an intention like maintaining lifelong wellness encourages consistent healthy behaviors, not just temporary fitness efforts. I look at folks, I'm doing this diet, I'm doing that diet, right? I'm a carnivore, I'm a vegetarian, right? Like, I don't eat carbs, all I eat is carbs. Like this, there's science behind every one of them. But we know that if you just ate normal, stayed off processed foods, got away from the grease, stayed away from fast food restaurants, and worked out on a consistent basis, whether that meant lifting weights or yoga or stretching or at home or at the gym or wherever you want, or walking around the park on a daily basis for 30, 40 minutes, or whatever it is you want to do, whatever your scope of exercise is, riding bike, climbing mountains. We have a client right now who just did a 300-mile marathon in Arizona. I was like, that's you, not me. Right? God bless, bro. you know? But all of these things, we know that that's what works. And more importantly, what works is the consistency in it. You're not looking for results right now, you're looking for lifelong results. So if I choose my intention to maintain lifelong wellness, it'll definitely encourage the decisions that I make throughout the day. When I'm hungry and I'm driving by that Burger King, and it's just easy pull up in there and hit the drive-through real quick and walk away with a greasy, nasty processed burger, or to pass by like the Carrot Express and jump in there and like go a little bit out of your way and jump in there and get a healthy chicken wrap. I know some of you are going, but the burger. And I can give you like maybe 5 places you can go get a great, clean, healthy burger. Right? Glenn says, I'm getting to that cigar meditation stage. I love it, Glenn. Relationship intentions. Setting an intention to build meaningful connections. This helps create genuine and lasting relationships, far more valuable than simply gaining followers, right? So many of us are focused on the social media thing. Got to get all these followers, got to get all these likes. I need people to share my shit, right? What if your focus on a daily basis was, I'm going to create meaningful relationships today? Now, I'll ask you this. If those were your only 3 intentions on a daily basis, this is why I chose them. And I want you guys to answer me yes or no in the chat box, okay? If these were your only 3 intentions, my intention is to create financial abundance. My intention is to create lifelong wellness. And my intention is to create genuine and lasting relationships. If these were your only 3 intentions on a daily basis, do you think that you will be in a significantly better place 12 months from now? Yes or no? Do you believe it? Yes or no in the chat box. Rosie says yes, absolutely. John says yes, absolutely. Hamza says yes, absolutely. Felipe says 1,000%. Betty says 100. I appreciate you guys for participating and being intentional with today's class, right? Yes, yes. If every day I woke up and I said, my money's I'm focusing on my money being right, my body and health being right, and my relationships being right, your life would be a complete different story 12 months from now. Don't look for the instant gratification. Don't look for the right now. Look for the what can I do right now to significantly enhance my future. Okay. Now here's some how-tos, right? So identify values, right? First ask yourself, what truly matters to me? And then write those values down clearly. Okay, this is where you can find your intentions. If those 3 are not your 3 and you want to find some intentions of your own, this is how you do it. Okay, identify your values, your core values, because your intentions need to be clear to your core values and who you are, what your morality as a person is. And so first ask yourself, what truly matters to me? And then write those down clearly, write them down. By the way, there's a euphoria that happens. Love these things, by the way, right? There's a euphoria that happens when you take this and start writing stuff down. Because notice I didn't say type it into your notes or create a Word document and type out your intentions. No, write down your intentions. This book right here, like less than $1 at the pharmacy. This pen right here, I got it free from Vulcan 7. Okay, like just write them down. Next thing you're going to do is craft your intention. So you create intentions that align directly with those core values. For example, if family is a core value for you, an intention could be prioritizing quality family time. If you woke up every day and you said, I'm going to prioritize family time, when a family event happens, you're going to say yes, because it's a priority. It's one of your daily intentions. If your kid is involved in an event, you're going to show up. And it doesn't mean that you neglect your business because you have to go see your kid thing. It means that you learn how to adjust your life accordingly so you can do both. And then have regular reflection. Review your intentions all the time, daily, weekly, whatever it is. Don't write intentions down and then forget about them for 30 days and come back and reevaluate. These are your dailies. This is how you live your life on a daily basis. So review those intentions consistently and see if they still reflect with your core values and your current life situation, and adjust as necessary. These things, guys, they are flexible. They are so flexible. You can change them whenever you want. If your life has a major change, if you close a $20 million deal and you earn 3% on $20 million, I hope every one of you gets one of those. Okay? And you take that money and you pay off your house, you pay off your cars, and you're in a whole new world financially. And you just got money in the bank, and you maybe buy a couple small investments and still got money in the bank. Whatever it is that you do, I don't know what your debts are. I'm just saying something like that could change somebody's life, right? Then maybe your intentions adjust a little bit. Maybe your financial abundance adjusts a little bit into maintaining financial abundance, right? And then there's a worksheet activity that you could do where you could write down your intentions based on your values and then provide it on a worksheet. I'm going to send the worksheet out to everybody on this. Okay. I'm going to have a worksheet created and I'm going to send it out to you guys. It'll come to you by text message because you guys participated. Okay. Now, I'm going to give you guys some tips to help with your intentions. First is journaling. If you just write down your intentions on a daily basis, remember again, it's the pen to paper euphoria. If you write down your intentions on the daily basis, I know some people, they tell you put it on your glass in your bathroom and then just say them out loud every day. And yes, that works. But the connection that happens when your brain has to think about what to write is significantly different than saying them out loud in your head. There's a lot more connection that happens when you do this. So write down your intentions on a daily basis to make sure that you have a clear guide to your day. Talk to people that you're close to. Talk to people that you're close to, or maybe some of the folks in this chat that look at each other and go, hey, be my partner, my accountability partner, and discuss your progress and your challenges and adjustments in pursuing these intentions. And then finally pair up, right? Just stay connected. Stay connected. All right. So today we learned on why focusing on intentions rather than just your business goal or personal goal can lead to deeper fulfillment and sustained success. We covered that today. We covered commitment to your intentions, and you find your goals often achieved and exceeded naturally. Again, I didn't say get rid of your goals. I said, put your goal up and then focus on the intentions on a daily basis. And you're going to find that in 12 months, if you went with the intention route, you more than likely surpassed the goal that you had set for yourself. And I would actually welcome anybody to share, like find me on social media at David Adam Kurz, right? Join our Freedom Achiever Academy and post inside of our Freedom Achiever Academy. I'm going to put the link to that up here in case anybody doesn't have it. But let me get it up for you real quick. My assistant usually does this stuff, but I gave him the day off because he's in the Philippines and it's Labor Day in the Philippines. I was like, well, he was already working. I said, shouldn't you not be working today? And he goes, I mean, if that's okay with you, we like to do stuff for Labor Day. I was like, yes, sir. Go take the day off. All right. So I just put the link to the Freedom Achiever Academy up there. So if you want to join the Freedom Achiever Academy, it would be smart. We have over 300 coaching videos and training videos in there. And we have a community. There's a community where you can post and talk to us and each other and myself. I'm always in there answering and posting and things of that nature. The other thing was Instagram. I want to give you my Instagram so that you have it. And I would love to hear your progress, right? Like if you want to share your intentions with somebody, shoot me a message. right? Like I'm wide open, guys. Like I'm not some guy that doesn't answer his messages. No one, by the way, no one else answers my messages except for me and my AI. I have an AI on Instagram and it sometimes talks to you and it'll say like David Adam Kurz's AI. So you'll know whether it's me or the AI. And when I jump into the conversation, the majority of the time I'll cut the AI off so that we can have a conversation. Okay. The AI is designed to help people navigate through my programs and the stuff that I have going on. Um, so I encourage you guys to share this with me, and I would love to be able to give you some feedback or, even tell you how my journey's going, right? Um, would anybody like to share? Unmute your mic and like to share maybe something they really picked up today that they're going to use in their business beginning immediately. Anybody want to share something? Feel free to unmute yourself and jump in.
Hey, David, I'm driving. How's everybody?
Hey, hey, welcome, Rosie.
How you doing?
Great.
Thank you. Awesome. Everything, of course, everything that you discussed today is awesome. I love the attention. I think what's really important for people to take away is, for me, what I took away from today is you really do have to write it down daily. I've always been a writer. I carry a pad with me. I literally write everything down with a pen. I don't care how many iPhone devices or Apple devices I have. I will write it down. But what I don't do is write down those intentions daily. I write everything else down, but I think what's important is to start writing those intentions down daily, because, like you said, the connection between pen and paper and your brain really does. Help solidify that existential connection that we need. Like whatever else is that is helping us, that energy. I do think it's really, really important in that pen to paper and mindset. That's a goal for me. I need to start doing that. So you're going to see on my pad, aside from work that I write all the time, I'm going to be writing these intentions daily.
Awesome, man.
So
I love
thanks
to
for
hear
that.
that, Rosie. Love to hear that. Love to hear that. All right. Anybody else want to share? Appreciate you, Rosie. Anybody else would like to share what they took away from today? I know it's like crazy for you to unmute your microphone and join in, but it's cool. All right, we'll let it go. All right, guys. I hope you enjoyed today's program. Let's see. Betty says, I can't talk, but I learned I need to have and then you learn then a partner. There you go. All right. I learned that I needed to have a partner, which is fantastic, right? Having an accountability partner, somebody you can just bounce off of, somebody's that's in your wavelength, your brain waves are matching that. That's such a great thing to have, man. When you can have somebody you could send a message to or go, hey, yo, I'm having problems with my intention today. Or, hey, I wrote down my intentions this morning. Guess what happened before 12 noon, right? Like, and by the way, this helps encourage each other and keep each other motivated to kind of have that going on. And you should have it. Should be a little text message group or something, and just really go in on that. And if you're a part of the academy, go in there and pump it into the community, right? That's what the community's for. That's what we're there for. Okay.
David, can I ask you a question?
Sure, Maggie.
I tried a few times because I love your content to sign up for the academy last week
Okay.
because you had a special going on that I thought you said was going to go away soon. And
Yes.
it kept giving me the number and they said, go into your email and give me the number that we sent you to verify. But I just tried again and it gave me the same message, but I never get any emails. So I don't know if there's a glitch in the system
Okay.
or
Let me
what's
try to
going
do this.
on.
Maggie, do me a favor. I just posted my email address on
Okay.
the chat. I
Mm-hmm.
want you to send me an email and I'm going to have my team look into it and I'm going to have them make sure that you get into the academy.
Thank you so much. Okay.
Absolutely, Maggie. Absolutely. All right. So let's see. Glenn says, wait, where? I can't talk. Okay. Glenn says, I think this was definitely different from a lot of the other trainings. I appreciate that, Glenn. I want it to be, we definitely don't want to just say the same thing everybody's saying all the daggone time, right? Jennifer Ramos says, thank you for these because you are on point, mindset is everything. I appreciate your values. I appreciate you, Jennifer. Glenn says, where they focus on goals and not the intentions, but I think you talking about both definitely kind of opens up my thinking even more. I'm glad to hear that, Glenn. That's huge. I mean, that to me is everything, right? So like the fact that you can walk away and say, okay, cool. Like I know I have these grand goals, and I hope all of your goals are like grandiose. I really do. Like my goals are stupid. You know, I have airplanes and helicopters on my vision board. Okay, like my goals are out of this world, grandiose, and the ability to focus on daily intentions is a life changer. It's a complete life changer. Okay, and I know that I'll achieve everything that I want to achieve if I keep doing the things that I know are the right things to do on a daily basis. Good by people, good by my business, right? And it's going to be a great opportunity for you, Glenn. So I'm glad that it opened you up. All right, guys, it is 49 after the hour. I'm going to let you guys go. We are live again in 2 weeks. Make sure you stay in tune with us, and we will keep you posted on when the next session goes up. You always get the texts and emails and reminders. So I look forward to seeing you guys there. Y'all take care.